Hey everyone, Dan at Bushcraft. Well, if you haven't seen my last video on survival tools for your vehicle, please check it out, because today I am going to give you the full overview of all of the survival gear that I carry in my vehicle when I'm out here in the woods, when I travel through the backcountry, which is extremely often and are year-round, spring, summer, fall, winter. So in the last video, I gave you guys kind of a detailed look at the tools that I carry. So I won't touch on those much today. As I unload stuff or show you stuff, you'll see them, but I won't pause to explain them. Go back and watch that video. But today you'll get to see all the other gear. So I'm just going to take you over to my vehicle, show you how I've got it set up, and what I carry, and maybe give you guys some ideas. Let me preface by saying most of my survival stuff in my vehicle was done on a pretty tight budget. So over the years, decades actually, I've accumulated a lot of extra survival gear. You know, I have a box that probably has close to 50 ferro rods in it, for example. I have extra backpacks, extra, numerous extra knives and gear. So I didn't go out and buy a lot of stuff. As I put this together for my truck, I went through what I already had, old gear, used gear. Over the years, I've had quite a few companies send me out items to test. Some of those items I passed on, others just kind of went like in a storage box, and I was able to dig through those boxes and bring things out. And, just the economy is what it is. And most of us are on a budget. So probably the best place to start a vehicle survival kit is going through your garage, your closets, storage, whatever, and seeing what you can use. And then if there's something that you don't have that you absolutely need, then purchase from there. So let's go over to the vehicle, get started, and then I will take some of the stuff out of the vehicle, set it up in the back end, and outload it for you guys. Okay, I'm just going to start right here at the front of the vehicle. I'm going to actually get inside. I have these tactical visor covers. So one here and one over on the passenger side. So I can carry identification pins, things like that I might need. But I also have a flashlight tucked in each one. So if I need light, or a passenger needs light, I have two flashlights that I can immediately grab. Another item that I have up here is a seatbelt cutter / window breaker. So if I am in an accident, I have a way to right here where I can just reach up, grab something to cut my seatbelt and to break out my windows. Okay, in the jockey box up front is also a small first aid kit, some ibuprofen and things. But before I load out the truck, I want to show you what it looks like as I travel down the road. I never have passengers with me more than just one, so I use my back seat for survival gear. I have this large box which we're going to outload. I have a couple duffel bags, tactical seat covers, stuff down here on the floorboards. We're going to go through all of that here. I'm going to go ahead and empty out the back seat and set that stuff in the back end, and then I will give you guys the details of what all is in the vehicle here. Okay, with everything moved out of the back seat, probably the easiest way to show you is to just move my camera around. So in the door over here, I have pink ribbon. I need to get out and take off cross country in an area that I'm not familiar with. I will immediately mark my path. Shoved under the seat here, I usually have several cans of insect repellent, Off Repel for clothing. Down here I have a roadside emergency kit. I imagine you guys are familiar with those. So I've got you know, toe strap, jumper cables, basic tools, first aid kit, gloves, other items, flares, just the things that come in one of those standard kits. This is the small tool kit from my last video. You guys want to check that out for a more detailed look, go to the last video. But wire cutters and some wrenches and an extra knife and extra flashlight and different things are all in there. Down here on the floorboards where I just kind of toss things, I have rolls of toilet paper, hand cleaning supplies. I have a small survival kit that it's a cheap thing that I wouldn't recommend to anybody, but it was kind of in front of me for only a couple bucks, so I just grabbed it and threw it behind the seat. And I have an air compressor that I can plug into the cigarette lighter in here so that I can air up my tires. Okay, on each back seat, or the back of each seat, I have tactical seat covers. So mounted to this one, and again, it's kind of hard for me to maneuver around, guys, but I have a complete, what I call Bushcraft first aid kit in this one. And it's a breakaway, but it is loaded up with, I'm going to pause you guys for just a second while I open that. Okay, I opened it up. Again, it's a breakaway, so I can pull it right off the seat, but I have just a wide variety of just about everything that I've ever needed out here in this kit, from gauze and bandages, irrigation syringe over here, which is very important, ice pack, CPR, little snake bite kit, all kinds of stuff in here, clotting sponge. Next to it, I have a complete trauma kit right here. So I have this first aid kit and a trauma kit, the tourniquet and all the more advanced stuff in that. So down in these tactical seat covers, they have pockets here that open up. In this one, I have a complete assortment of maps, of all the maps of the area. I also have tactical gloves with the reinforced knuckles and things to protect my hands if I'm having to change out a tire or something. Down in the lower pockets, I have cordage. I have a complete emergency survival candle with fire starters, bright orange cordage over here on this side. And between the seats, I have a large mat, which is the reflective on one side. And underneath the seat, I'm not gonna lift this up, guys, right now, but all my mechanics tools are under the seat. So the seat is, actually, I will go ahead and lift it up. Let me pause you again. Okay, also forgot to mention down here, and that's in my last video, those log dogs I told you guys about are right down here. And shoved back under both seats are tool kits, various tools, tire changing items down back underneath there, heavy duty rope. There's a spool of, I think it's at least 300 feet of parachute cord, more tools shoved back up under there, and that kind of covers this side. Okay guys, coming around to the passenger side, I have another roll of pink ribbon in this side. Again, I found this just important for marking trails out here. Down on this side, I did a video a while back on a coffee can survival kit. So you might check out that video. I've got the can right down here. I pulled that up out of there, but if you go back through my videos, I did a video on the coffee can survival kit, and there's all kinds of emergency survival gear in here, lots of bright orange stuff, vehicle flares, fire starting kit, emergency blanket, another small first aid kit, hat, gloves, candles, and they're explained why and how to stay warm in your vehicle. That's all in here. Again, under this seat is the rest of the tools. And just like the other side, more cans of insect repellent. I have rappelling rope, which could be used for a variety of things. A sit pad, besides that larger insulated pad that sits between the seats. I've got a small one for just sitting. And on this side, another tactical seat cover hanging off the back, because I use it quite often, is a silky gomboy. When I need to get a small tree or something that's maybe across the road, I just grab this, pull it off, and go to work. I have the back center pocket completely stuffed, filled with emergency survival food bars, 400 calories each. I've used those things a lot. They give you a lot of energy. I always have a gallon jug of water in here at all times, sitting down here at the floor, in addition to water bottles in my pack and one that rides with me up front. This bag here, if you can see, is completely stuffed full of nothing but pure fat wood. So I've always got the means to get a fire going quickly out here. This old military shoulder bag, completely filled with fat wood. I have a large, and I did a video on this sometime back, this large ferro rod magnesium fire starter. Extra cordage again, both bright orange and black, depending on the situation, what I might want or need. And over on this side, down in the bottom pocket here, let me get that out for you. I have a complete emergency fishing kit. So I've got extra hooks, lines, sinkers, flies, jigs, all kinds of stuff in here that I can use if I'm out. This is, and I've done videos on this, the HydroFlow GoFlow 10 liter. So in here is a bag that opens up that will hold 10 liters of water, along with the hose and the filter, so that I can fill this right from a stream, hang it from a tree, and it will hold 10 liters of water, and turn the filter off and on whenever I want to fill water bottles. An extra pouch here on the back that I basically is just a miscellaneous pouch. All kinds of odds and ends I throw in here. So this is a mini fire starting kit. There's let's see if I can open that up for you guys. Move that out of here for a second. There's lighters, fat woods, and different things. There's also a headlamp down in here, more pieces of fat wood, another filter straw for drinking straight from the stream, an extra ferro rod, more fire starting options and tabs back in here, lighter, some more fire starter. Again, that's just a miscellaneous that I just throw odds and ends in that I think I might need. And here's that little can. So it's got more pieces of fat wood. I love my fat wood, you guys know that. And a little lighter in there. So again, just whatever odds and ends that I might need, extras and things, I just kind of shove in this little pouch back here. And then let me seal that up real quick. Okay, in the back pockets on this one, I have large trash bags and drum liners shoved down in the top pocket, which can be used for bedding, gathering resources, whatever. And then in the larger pocket down here, I have one of the large reflective blankets from Arcturus. It's zipped up in its own case, but with the reflector on one side, so, and grommet, so it can be used for an emergency shelter. It can be used to wrap up in, even inside the vehicle. I've done videos on that where I have a candle and wrapped a blanket around myself. Again, more automotive tools and stuff under this seat. And so coming around to the back end, guys, here's all the stuff that was in the back seat I put out on the tailgate, and we're going to go through it along with one of my backpacks. Anytime I'm out, one of my packs is always with me. I take off for a hike, or if I have to walk home, which has happened twice, along with basic tools for my belt, folding saw, one of my architect knives and hatchet. And we'll go ahead and load out this rest of this stuff for you guys. All right, my hands were getting cold. It's right around freezing out here this morning. I put my gloves on for a little bit. So I have two duffel bags that right in the back seat, along with this big box. And this is just a big plastic box, brand is Plano, that I picked up at Bi-Mart to put together. All those tools you saw in my last video are in here, along with other survival gear you haven't seen yet. But in one duffel bag, I carry a tarp and wool blankets depending on the time of season. So right now, as winter is coming, I still got one big heavy wool blanket in here, and then I have canvas tarp down in here under the blanket, which allows me to build fire right next to my shelter, where I have nylon tarp in here and I can't have a fire as close. I have a canvas tarp in here with wool blanket, so I can build a shelter and put like a long fire right next to it to keep me warm. Okay, in this duffel bag, I have a complete extra set of clothing, hygiene, and different things like that. So this is basically a travel bag as well as part of my survival gear. Up for you guys. Okay. So, as you can see in the top part here, I have a complete hygiene kit. I have a portable shower that you can hang from trees to take a shower, with insect repellent, sunblock, body wipes, so I could do a wipe down wash or the shower. I have towel, extra wool socks, extra wool shirt, wool long underwear, just a complete change of all my clothing, hygiene. There's another small first aid kit down in here, along with reading material. I have a small Bible, wilderness travel medicine, and ultimate survival guide, just to have some reading material in here if I am stuck out. And stuck around in the vehicle and I'm not getting overwhelmed with boredom. I also have water shoes stuffed in here, which I've used quite a bit. Even in the winter, I actually used these one time for crossing a creek in the snow. And so I took my boots and my socks off, put these on, walked across the creek, quickly got my boots and socks back on, so my feet got warm and got a fire going. But all the firewood was on the other side of the creek from where I was. So having those things in there is handy. And I'll pause you guys. Okay, one other thing down in the side pocket here is a first aid kit, or I'm not sorry about that, a sewing kit. I got large sewing needles and a basic military sewing kit for repairing my gear or clothing. As you've seen so far, a lot of redundancy. I have a first aid kit in the jockey box, a small one. I have a first aid kit under the seat, back seat of the pickup. I have the big first aid kit and the trauma kit. I have another first aid kit in here. Of course, a first aid kit in my pack. But that's just the way I do things. I like to have a lot of first aid, and it has come in handy for me and for others more than once. All right, lastly, I got this big old plastic box. A lot of the stuff in here you guys saw in my tool video, so I won't cover that in detail. As I pull it out, you'll see it. I'll just say refer to that other video. It's the one that was put up just before this for greater information. But my axe, shovel, pry bar, again, all things that you saw in the last video. Bolt cutters, which I have kind of tucked in an old military pouch. Kukri, again, check out the last video. Extra knife, and large saw from Agawa Canyon. Last video I detailed all of that, so we'll go into the stuff that is in this box that I didn't touch on in the last video. And remember the stuff you saw up front too, like I've got multiple flashlights up in the visors and a flashlight in the back, and I have a high-powered flashlight here that I also can charge. Let's see, yeah, it's fully charged, and it's got the strobe on it and different settings for emergencies. So in here I have a power bank, which gives me another light and charging cables and things, so I can plug in this light right here or my cell phone or whatever I might need and get, I think, about 6 charges off the power bank. So this light is, like I said, this is a very, very powerful tactical light with strobe on it and stuff. And I have the means to keep it charged and my phone charged off this power bank. And I have the cord to plug the power bank itself into my vehicle and charge the power bank off the vehicle. Okay, there's a lot of food stuff down in here. I'm not going to get it all out, but I have various Mountain House meals. Here's a granola and blueberries. I have some that are instant, some that you can cook. I've done videos on these. I really like them. The Rec Pack protein drinks. You just pour water in the top, shake it up, and you got 700 calories with, what is it, over 50, I was just like 80. That's 80 grams of carbs, 40 grams of protein, just a ton of stuff to keep you going for the day. I've got a lot of that down in here, along with another pouch shoved full of granola bars and nuts. High fat, high calorie, high energy stuff. Keep me going while I'm out here. Okay. I mentioned a wool blanket that I have in that duffel bag, and I will add another one to it for the winter. I also have an extra large snug pack jungle blanket, so if I'm really cold, this goes around me, the reflective blanket goes around me, and then the wool blankets go over the top of that, and that gives me a lot of insulation. I have extra hat down in here, lots more food. Those electric flares for the vehicle, which also have LED lights and stuff. I have one in the coffee can survival kit, and I have 2 more in here. So that allows me to put 3 on the vehicle. I can put 1 on the side, 1 on the front, 1 on the back if I'm broke down by the road. If I'm trying to get overhead attention from a helicopter or something, I can put all 3 of them up on top of my vehicle and have 2, bright, or actually 3 bright orange lights blinking SOS or distress signals of some kind to attract help. I have extra winter gloves, which right now I need. Extra wool cap. 2 pairs of extra leather gloves shoved down in here. My multi-tool, super tool from Leatherman, is down in here. I mentioned that in the tool video. I have a large pot for cooking, and I have hand wipes, pad to clean out the pot, an extra roll of toilet paper, extra lighters, all shoved down inside this Pathfinder bush pot so I can cook out here. So I have my oilskin, oilcloth, or canvas tarp for winter. I also have a large AquaQuest nylon tarp in here for weather when I can't have a fire. I will just set this up. There's a poncho, military poncho down in here. More cordage. This is, I did a video on these and I can't remember off the top of my head what they're called. Sorry guys, I'll try to put it in the description. But it is a way that stores the parachute cord. I believe they're put out by Atwood. It has the cord cutter right here on it and a lighter inside the top cap for burning the cord. And of course a big roll of Gorilla Tape. Emergency radio. This one has a hand crank for the light. It has the alarm that makes all kinds of noise. It has the reading light. My battery is not charged up right now, so I'm going to have to charge the battery in this, but it is solar powered, so I can set it out here in the sun and get that charged up. I can also hand crank it and get it charged up, so I've got a way of emergency radio. And what's cool about this particular one, it's from Foss Power. You can find it on Amazon. If this was charged up, it has a motion detector in it, so I can set it outside my shelter, and if something moves, the light will come on and let me know that something's moving nearby. Again, it's a wise idea to keep these things charged. I just haven't done it. I have bank line, a big roll of bank line down in here. Tent stakes. This is an extra filter for the Ultra Press, which I have over here. I believe it might be in the other pouch. I've got two pouches in here. See, I've got eating utensils, extra lighters, pot hangers and things in that pouch. Let's see if it's in this one. I know this is just an extra water bottle and cup down inside here. Clean canteen. So my grail is in this one. So I have the Grail Ultra Press. I have the extra filter, which I just showed you guys for that. So if I'm out here, I can use that. Of course, I have the other filter and the water bag and everything in the truck. This just gives me another option. And in this pouch, I've got another complete fire kit shoved down in here. Emergency candles, actually a couple emergency candles, cotton balls saturated with petroleum jelly, lighter, another ferro rod, waterproof, windproof matches. I just got everything shoved down in here, a complete fire kit, and more fat wood. And I've got a whole bunch of hand warmers shoved down in here. I've got another emergency blanket. I've got the one in my coffee can. I got the heavy duty one behind the seat. I got another one in the box. And I have an Esbit stove with tabs. That's what I do my cooking on out here in the winter if I'm not going to use a fire. So I've got an extra one in here besides one in my pack. I have collapsible lantern flashlight. There's two of them in here. These also have red lights on the end that flash or blink, so it gives me another way to signal, and of course it gives me emergency light for being stuck out here. extra tabs for the Esbit stove, so lots and lots of cooking can be done. More tabs for the stove. And lastly, and this is if we have to make a go of it for a while, you saw the fishing kit that is in the truck, in the side. This pouch has a variety of conibear traps. If you guys are familiar with trapping, I've got the smaller size in here, which works great for rabbits and squirrels. And I have snares, a complete set of a small game survival snare kit. So snares, conibear traps. And I'm going to pause you guys for just a second. Okay, there were some side pouches I wanted to open up. So again, snare wire, several of the conibear traps over here, or pre-made survival snares. In this side pouch I have galvanized wire to attach those conibear traps to a stump or a log, tree, or whatever. Another small survival fishing kit shoved over in this pouch, and a bunch of these speed reels, they call them, is one of the names. They're called by different names, but for fishing. Yo-yos is another, I think, a brand name. Mechanical fishing yo-yo traps. So this gives me a wide variety of ways to sustain myself out here. The conibear traps, the pre-made snares, I've got extra snare wire and things, I've got the fishing kit. This just gives me a lot of options if I have to be out here for a while. And again, my pack, at least one of my packs, I'm about ready to switch over to my winter pack, and stuff is with me. There's more food that's usually in the truck. There's another bottle of water up front. There's things I would love to do to this truck. You know, I would love to have racks up on the side with those detachable water containers and axe and shovel and things mounted on the side, but none of those things are in my budget. And so basically, as I said, I built this on a budget. I couldn't afford a big crossover toolbox. This is what I could afford. I could afford this big Plano box that was on sale at Bi-Mart. Everything in it is extra stuff that I had accumulated over the years. So there's very, very few things other than like maybe the bolt cutters, a few other things that I didn't already have. So my purchases were minimal, but I have a kit that I am very, very comfortable with. Twice I've been stranded and had to walk to town. I've spent my days and nights out here all year round. And I can tell you, since I've put all of this together, much of it was in my vehicle, but just scattered about before. Now it's much better organized. As I now have all this with me, I have yet to be in a situation where there's been something that I have needed that's not right here. Doesn't mean I have everything, but as of yet, I haven't come across that. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. There's a lot of stuff here. I hope it gives you some ideas and ways you can put together your own kit on a budget. Dan at Ochoco Bushcraft, we are still in fire season. You're not seeing me out on the ground doing much right now because I want fire. I mean, it's freezing cold this morning. It's right around 32 degrees. And I would love to have a fire, but we are still in fire season. We are still completely dry. There's still multiple wildfires burning around Oregon. So you won't see me doing much out and about until that weather breaks. And when that weather breaks and the rain comes, and we're going to get out and we're going to do some fires and some camps and start having some fun. Take care, guys. Please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, and stay safe out there.